Okay, I think it's good. I think, yeah, it is definitely good. Okay, so I've launched the YouTube stream, so it did not give me the error message, and that wasn't on our end. That was on their end. Okay, I don't know if it's StreamYard or it was, which is how what we used to launch YouTube, or it was the YouTube itself. I really don't know. So anybody in YouTube right now? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Pepe. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't. Again, I don't know if it's StreamYard or YouTube itself that is having an overloading problem. All right, guys. Let's see. So you are I'm trying to figure out what you're doing with DKS. Okay, you're not in it anymore. Okay. Boy, Moderna guys, I should have. The minute it broke through 150, now and it's approaching that high now. That high right there is 159.47. So it's approaching that high, and after that, the next high is of course the big day it had. I got up to 160, 176. Give me one moment, please. All right, what happened with the CIFG? Do I really want to see? Yeah, okay, 405, and it's at 416 now, 418 now. Okay, got to take it. No, you don't have to take it. Okay, you don't have to take it, but I got to take it. And this is a CIFR. I don't know if, I mean, I don't love the volume, but the spread was okay. So let's take a look at CIFR. Of course, this is obviously a Bitcoin play. Is it? Oh, that's right. It's a miner. Ooh, just give me a moment. I have to see what's happening with Mara because the miners were okay. Miners are good. Mara's good, and Riot. Okay, Riot. Okay, good. Then I don't mind taking the CIFG because the miners are really at one point they were really trading opposite to what crypto was trading. And I know it's something to do, AI and all. So with the data centers, but this is up 10%, and the other ones are up about 5%. So again, I'm not. You don't have to do the same thing, but at least it's in the right sector right now. Hmm. Speaking of sectors, all right, so I'm going to click on new from the toolbar, and then I'm going to click on dock to channel bar, not channel bar, dock to channel bar. Why not channel bar? Because if you click on the channel bar and then you click on one of the theme based channels, your layout will disappear. Okay, your layout will disappear. I don't mean forever. I mean, assuming you've saved it to your computer or the cloud, you'll have it. But this is why we have the docked channel bar, because when I click on a channel from the dock channel bar, I'm going to click on the sector status. You can see underneath my layout still is there. So at the beginning, well, NLR. So that's why NLR, the uranium plays and the semis, the nukes. I don't know if the nukes are. My guess is that it's uranium plays that are really dominating. Why? Not necessarily. Look at my bouncers toppers. This is a uranium play, and this is a nuke. OKLO. This is a uranium play. So, okay. And the worst sector is XRT retail. Not horrible, but that is the worst sector. So let's see. Anything outstanding on the upside? So there, well, there's Moderna. Okay, right. Healthcare. So for some of you, this may be a way for you to use trade ideas. For some of you, you look at this at the sector status. You can zero in on the top sectors, the weakest sectors. Okay, then you can look at some of the. We have some of them. We don't know every one of them, but we have some of them here. The main ones. Okay, well, I'll call the main ones. The financials, discretionary, etc. Then you can just kind of see, okay, what's happening. Well, Moderna just pops right out, doesn't it? But also, you can look at the short side. Let's go to consumer staples. Most of the stocks are down for the day. Is there anyone as a disaster? Not a disaster, but there's Dollar Tree down, 2%. There's Carvana in retail is up, but what is a well? There's our disaster. We talked about this is how I found DKS in the pre-market. We looked at this in the pre-market, and at that point, I think DKS was down 20%. It's down 27% now. And CTRN down 7%. So, for some of you, this is a way in which you can just zero in on the best stock in a sector and the worst stock in a sector, if that's what you want to do. So you come to this scan or this channel every day, and that may be a way in which you'll trade. So this might be interesting, guys. The GRRR. It is an earnings play, actually. I had earnings after hours yesterday. Here's the reaction. Obviously, not great. It got into the 200-day moving average, and got a little bit below it. But right now, it's holding, and you can see it's kind of basing or consolidating around the VWAP. So you might look at this and go, okay, what if it takes up the V? Maybe it gets over 14. That might that might be an interesting trade. It'll be over the VWAP. It'll be over the 200-day moving average, and maybe start a bit of a recovery. All right, guys. How's this gem doing? Probably not nothing. JEM alerted 558, and what did it do from there? I got a little bit of it, but not much. Yeah, I'm going to look back on IREG and say why was the spread so bad? But in retrospect, you look back on 838 and great trade, but great alert. 870 on the high, but boy, that spread was. And you see right now it's tightened up, and it doesn't look like it's going to play the games now. Again, this blue window I'm showing you, nothing to do with trade ideas, and everything to do with interactive brokers. Time and sales from interactive brokers. I don't know where Hermes. I mean, Hermes. He's in the room, but maybe just taking a break from posting it all. Yeah, boy, the uranium plays. Let's take a look at URA. That is the uranium ETF. And yeah, wow, what a nice move. Yeah, something has certainly put a charge into the uranium plays today. Monica, I was like giving you a shout out here. I don't know if you've seen this NCPL of 170%. I'm just seeing it now as it broke through 50 NCPL. My guess is that you obviously would have seen it. And in fact, at 11:05, you just said yes. You just said new high. So obviously you did see it. Yes. So guys, I mean, if you wanted to scan for stuff like this, let's do it. What's the float? Maybe under 10 million, 25 cents. Okay, grr. Okay, it's starting to move here, guys. It's breaking. It's over 14. Okay, and it's still above the VWAP. Okay, I don't. I just want to do one thing here to see what that NCPL. Yeah, relative volume. Okay. All right. Create a top list window of stocks between 10 cents and $1 with minimum number of shares traded. Let's go 10 million. Okay. And a relative volume of at least 30 and up at least, say, 25% from yesterday's close. Now, that's interesting. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. So that's where it got screwed up. It was a okay. Well, that was my fault. Okay. So I want to see how you can modify that. Can you modify that list? I meant it has to be up at least 2% from yesterday's close. All right. Well, it's only giving me one, but there's the NCPL. Okay. But that would have been enough, I guess. But you see what I did? I had made a mistake. I mean, or it misinterpreted what I said the first time. It's probably the way I phrased it. So you can just go back and say, okay, that scan. I'm sorry. Well, we just make the change, so you don't have to start from scratch again. Big help for people who are new, in my opinion. I mean, new to trade ideas, not necessarily new to trading, but if you're new to trade ideas, okay, because if you're not new to trading, then you have an idea about what you're kind of looking for. And then you can kind of create your scan based on what you're looking for. If you're new to trading, well, it's not going to help you because you have no idea what you're looking for. Okay, you're saying the TI wave has not covered its short, so it hasn't. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's still orange. It's still orange. It hasn't curled up yet. It's not blue, if that's what you're talking about. I mean, it's basing nicely now. I mean, it's a one way. It's not going to stay here. We know it's not going to stay here. It's going to do. It's either going to keep moving down, or it's going to maybe have a little pop and maybe challenge the VWAP, which would be a big challenge. 136. Well, I'm just waiting on the CIFG if it is going to have any sort of a pop for me. It's just sort of meandering around right now. Basically, where I bought it, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Put a price alert up here in this area. See if it can get back up to the 417 and maybe move a little bit more. Of course, I'm loving it because of all the room it's got. Again, this is the company ETF for CIFR, and it's a two timer. Okay, guys, give me a moment. I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but that's okay. Your child writes things. Okay, I would keep watching this GRR, guys. The longer it holds over the VWAP, it's an earnings play and it's trying to come back. If it holds over the VWAP for even longer and gets over 14, it may have a little bit of a run. I haven't even looked at the market today. So the Dow's up just a little, SPY's up a little, Qs are up a little. Yeah. So there's not any massive moves. Okay, let's put a charge into this. I didn't try to trade PMI. Monica would know. Okay. Monica, was PMI? I sort of remember PMI not being allowed, but is PM no trade? Yeah, so it's a no go. PMI is a no go. So I'm not going to beat myself up. Now this, I know this was from our AI also. I don't know how many people had shorts of it. I don't understand this one at all. This MVVIP, Willamette Valley Vineyards. I know it doesn't have shorts available for it either. I know. I wonder who has shorts available for this one. I don't understand this one at all. Boy, this NCPL. Well, you know what? I mean, maybe tomorrow. This has got to get. I mean, it's through the 200-day moving average now. Oh, I'm sure Cobra has. I'm sure Centerpoint does. I'm sure Trade Zero. I'm sure all those three. I'm sure they have shares available. To short for the WVVIP. Well, there's that ADBT. This has been not good. So when you're just posting a symbol, Elijah, as an example, Elijah Tesla, what is the purpose of it? Like what are you trying to say? I mean, we looked at this earlier. I mean, this is just really doing nothing. It's an expensive one, but what is like? Why are you trying to draw our attention to this? I think I see what's happening, William. Like, there's no point in just posting a symbol, and like for what reason? unless something was really happening with it. But I'm looking at SanDisk right now. Nothing's happening with it. All right, guys. What time is it now? 11:24. So in about little over 30 minutes. Good morning, Nouveau Music. Ah, cool. Okay, your first week on TI. I would hope you've done the 12 short videos. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Talking to Nouveau in our YouTube room, which unfortunately, we had a problem. YouTube had a problem. It was either StreamYard or YouTube had a problem, so we couldn't launch earlier. Yeah, I would have thought it would be a very high rate. Oh my goodness, how did this happen? Look at GEM now, guys. JEM. The alert at 5:58 didn't do anything for the longest time, and then boom, like boom. Right. That's what I thought, William. Yeah. So listen, Elijah, and I can't pronounce it. If you're just trying to create some buzz around SNDK by posting the symbol, we know you're the same person. Like, don't do that. Okay, just don't do it. Looks like it's going to continue lower. I mean, I'm looking at DKS now. Did it turn? Well, were you long? I can't remember if you were long, but that's a pretty and some volume too. Look at the volume that came in on that break. You know, that volume bar is pretty big compared to the previous ones for the last I don't know, half an hour or so. Oh, cool. Okay, good. I'm talking to Nouveau in our YouTube room. You just never know, you know. You never know when something out of nowhere is going to hit. And look at this JEM. It was doing nothing really, and then all of a sudden, some volume came in, and I'm sure it got well. It's halted now. Well, let's take a look at the races. No, go ahead and talk. I mean, I believe me, it keeps me interested, Nouveau. Okay, if you got questions, I don't know. Are you a new trader or just new to trade ideas? Talking to Nouveau in our YouTube room. Spy is let's see now. The Spy is trying to test the VWAP again. So let's see what it could do when it comes out of its halt. Looks like it's going to have a pretty dynamic open. So this blue window I'm showing here, this has got nothing to do with trade ideas. This is time and sales from Interactive Brokers. So there's the halt price for GEM, JEM. This column trying to show you where it could open. Okay, it doesn't have to open at 689, or say you can see how it fluctuates. But if you're in this one, if you got lucky enough to get in this one before it halted, what you want to see is a number greater than that 639, which you do right now. So typically they are a 5 minute halt. So I got halted at, and this is the second halt of the day. So I got halted at 11:25 plus 54 seconds. So that'll be 11:30, almost 11:31 if it's going to be a 5 minute halt. So you're new to trade ideas, but you've been a trader since 3 years. Okay, so you've got some trading experience. Okay, good. I have scans I'm sharing. You might want to take a look at them if you want. Just give me a moment. I hope I didn't shut down YouTube. Whew, okay. So there's my homepage link. Okay. Sorry, there's my homepage link. I'm just putting that in for Nouveau in the YouTube room. So if you click on it, this is what you're going to see. So right, if you the middle section here are some of the scans that I'm currently sharing. Okay. So if you look at that, here are the scans. You can see this one over here. This is a race. Upside versus downside movers is here. Here are the halts resumes down here. And here are the trend reversal is right here. So, but I have other scans. This is what I use in the pre-market, actives up and down. So you can take a look at them if you want. Okay, guys, I'm just waiting on this CIFG to see if it has any sort of a run in it. Again, it's a Bitcoin miner. I want to keep checking. I have Mara thumbnailed also, so I want to make sure that the miners aren't really giving it up. It's really doing nothing though. Well, a little bit of a jog down, but not much. This has 378 million in the float, and see if CIFR. Just want to see how much is in the float. It's a big float also. A big float. Okay. Well, for me, it was just all about the room it had. Okay, I mean that's the reason I liked it. All about the room it had. But I mean, it's still the wave is still blue, so it hasn't turned down yet. So the gem is still halted. So this may be longer than it is obviously going to be longer than a 5 minute halt. So typically there are multiples of five. So this will be a 10-minute halt. So if it is 11:35 plus 54 seconds, and we are about 30, a little about 30 seconds away. If it's going to open, if it's a 5 minute halt, well, it's going to open, but if it's a 5 minute halt. And it's still, wow, it still looks even a little bit better now. 7:10. They may wait to see if the market makers get a little closer to the halt price. I don't know. That's why it might have turned into a at least a 10-minute halt. But let's see. We got 4 seconds. Let's just see if it opens. And the answer is, well, no. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. This is it'll be 11:35. I'm sorry. It still has. I thought it was 11. So 11:35 plus 54 seconds. So I jumped the gun a bit. Yeah. Where is it going to go? It's still okay. Well, come on, CFIG. But where is this going to go? I mean, that's a massive move if it opens at 7:20 from a 6:39 halt. Okay, it did open, and it's all over the place, but it did open. I think it opened at 7:33. It did open at 7:33 and back down a bit. Crazy low volume, guys. 600 or float, 610,000 in the float, and there's gem, gem, gem all over the place here. Maybe it's going to get halted again. No news that I could find. We have only a second halt for gem. Not saying this is infallible, but well, this would have been a nice short from the top here, guys. I know I was talking about it, but I didn't do it. Unfortunately, that would have been an awesome short from the top. I sort of lost sight of it. But for the most part, this is just a tremendous stress-free trade until you got to this part. And that's when you had to start managing the trade, taking some off. Sure, if you want. You can. Unfortunately, in the YouTube room, you cannot post. Okay, you go if you want. There's another room. At least you shouldn't have been able to, but maybe you. You maybe you can post, but you can't put a link in. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I do see the news now. I just had to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, I had to scroll down a little bit more. Oh, you're right. There is some news. Well, that actually is the news that hit at 11:20, and that's why. That is why. Yeah, I should have scrolled down a little bit more with my IB headline news. So there you go. And well, there are 1,500 shares available to short at Interactive Brokers, but the fee rate is 525%. So I'm not going to do it, but I'm surprised to see there were any shorts available. Well, I don't know if I want to hold this CIFG when I'm taking my break. It's about 20 minutes from now. Oh, I see. I see. That's what you meant by the rule breaker. Okay. How many shares available for you at, was it E-Trade or Fidelity? Oh, no, no clue. Okay. Can Jen keep it up? Whoa. Where did you short it, William? Oh, over 8. Okay. Well, you must have taken your profit. You had to take your profit. 801. Okay. So, I mean, it got down to 731 or so. Yeah, you nice. And the spread wasn't terrible. I mean, it's set, for a stock that is really, really ramping up. It's not terrible. Now, this could be one, guys. This could be one of those late dayers. Okay, I'm going to put a price alert up here. The ideal situation for me would be that it would sort of rest in this area for a while, and then in the afternoon take out that high. Well, it already took it out. And I think it's going to. Well, I'm going to say I think it's going to get halted again, but it's not halted yet. All right, guys, 11:43. So another 15 minutes or so for me, and then I'll take a break at about. I don't know who's taking over for me in our YouTube room. Let's see if I asked the question. So it is Andy. Okay, so Andy will be taking over. Andy Lindloff from Trade Ideas will take over for me in our YouTube room between 12 and 1 as I take my break. Yeah, DAIC looks like it's dead to me. It would really have to put on a big, big run to get close to that VWAP. Now, Gem is not showing up here. I wonder why. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. It's not showing up at 1.5 races. What am I saying? Interesting. There's not like one stock today that's had like a massive number of wins. Usually by this time, we see a stock, has won 14 races or so. But, I mean, it still won 7 races. Rum, oh, it's still strong, 11% up. I mean, you look left. I mean, it's coming in. Look what it did on the monthly chart anyway. 1054 and it got to 1046. So, I mean, you might look at this as your block. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, of course, but that is the next area. But it's been on a tremendous run. Yes. Short float percent. Yeah. I mean, it's heavily shorted, 36%. So I would be looking at this, that high of 2 months ago. Will that stall it? Don't know. Boy, Moderna got all the way up to almost 160, I think. mRNA. It got all the way up to 159.47, and so that high right there is one. Wow. I mean, seriously, guys, the high today is 159.47, and when you look left to see where it could block, 159.47. I mean, that's pretty unusual. I mean, especially for a high price stock like this. I mean, that's exactly where it stopped the high of 2 days ago. Now, does that mean it's over? No, but now if it takes that out the second time, this might go on another run. But that's why I do look left. Yeah, the volume is just too low. 151,000 shares. It's sneaking in here, but the volume is too low. But you know what? Let's take a look at GEM just out of curiosity. So the volume right now is 7.8 million, but a lot of that volume, of course, came right here. It was really doing nothing until that point. Well, I can tell what the volume was at that first alert. No, I can't. Well, I can, but it was by that time it was already 3 million. So GIS General Mills is on the way. Wow, this could be an interesting short. Why? Well, it's through the whole number. It's been moving down steadily. It's a little bit parabolic on the way down, but the next low looking left, 39.29. That's not bad for the next low. And it's through the 200-day moving average, which is a real that could be worrisome. And it's not an earnings play. Let's see if there's any news on it. I, I sort of remember there was some controversy about this blue buffalo years ago. Okay, guys, I'm seeing if there's I'm trying a little scalp trade on this, okay, because there's no way I'm going to hold it. I'm going to be gone in about 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm talking about the GIS. I want to see if I can get into the 70s, and I'll probably exit if it gets into the 70s. Just watching it right now. Just want to see if I can get into the 70s. Talking about 3970s, of course. Pretty big bars there, 40 down to 3987. And well, look at the gem guys now. The JEM is. I wish this was happening later on in the day. But if you're in this now, great. You know, it looks like it's going to challenge the high. Boy, GIS just hanging. Okay, I think I'm going to take myself out. Flat position. Yeah, I'm not going to hang around. It had to get into the 70s for me right now. Well, I'll be looking at this later on in the day for sure. You know, I mean, if it can take out those highs later on in the day, of course, it may establish a new high right now. All right, guys, 11:53. So in about 7 minutes, I'll be replaced in our YouTube room by Andy, and I'll be taking my break. All right, guys. Just waiting now on really nothing. I'm just, I mean, the CIFG, I don't know if I want to hold it while I'm on my break. Any last minute questions before I do take my break? About 5 minutes from now. What about rain? I wonder what rain is doing. RAIN. It's over $1 now. And where could it go? Doesn't look well. Actually, on the weekly chart, $1.64 is the next high. Is that right? No, $1.25 is the next high on the weekly chart. So, oh, well, I heard a little pop, so that might mean Andy's in the room. So just give me a moment, Andy, if that's true. I haven't had a chance to put my announcement up, so just give me a moment. Okay, guys, I'm just going to put my announcement up. Okay, back around 1 p.m. ET. And let me get the YouTube link in. I'm not 100% sure he's there. I heard a pop, but it might have been a preliminary pop. But I'll put the YouTube link in anyway. So for you guys, hmm. Okay, guys, I see that the media server got disconnected in the main room. So is my screen back? Just let me know if my screen is back and you can hear me in the main room, okay? Andy, are you there? No. So okay, in the main room, can you hear me and see my screen? Because I had that message saying the media server was disconnected. So what that Pepe, did that no mean you can't see the screen? Or no to Andy being in the room? Okay, now, okay. In the main room, can you hear me and see my screen? I just need of course, if you can't hear me, then, okay, let me, hear but no screen. Okay, okay. So let me see if I can get the screen going again. All right, let's see if the screen comes back, guys. Okay, good. Okay, now I got to wait for Andy. I don't think he's. I heard a little pop, but I don't. That might have been preliminary. And I'll do my video, and then once I've done my video, I'll put this on surfing mode. All right, now that was a pop, and I am assuming Andy is in our YouTube room now. So, guys, in the main room, I'm going to put myself on mute. and we'll see you guys in about 1 hour. And Mr. Pop himself.
What's happening, Barry?
Yeah, well, some
Uh,
technical issues, but other than that, it's been a decent day, been a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah, not bad,
Yeah.
not bad at all. I'm happy.
You are now you are you in I think you started getting more into the Bitcoin type plays last
Yeah,
week.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I caught uh, Bitcoin pretty early. Or average price. I bid around
You're talking
36,
IBIT, yeah.
36.40. Right, right. And I did. I've been in ABTC from 7. Now my entry price on my screen is not going to reflect that because I've been buying and selling. But
Right.
yeah, I sold most of my iBit, kind of playing. I think there's a lot more premium in this ABTC actually. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, just
What do they do?
they're a minor.
What,
They're
so they
a
are
pure.
minors. So they are a minor.
They're one of the last pure miners left. Actually, a lot of
Okay.
them switched over to data centers, and so
So
yeah,
like the Riot and the Mara switched over to data centers.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what does that mean then? That means they're not mining anymore. That's it.
Maybe a little. I don't know. I know their plan was to 100% convert. I believe.
Oh,
Now they
really?
probably still have Bitcoin on their books, so that helps them. But
Right.
now
But they're
Hut
but
Hut is almost a kind of a split play. It's more. It's kind of almost half and half. It still has
okay.
a pretty big Bitcoin presence. That's why I keep trying it. But uh, but
How about
ABTC,
CIFG?
huh?
How about CIFG?
CIFG. I'm not familiar with that one.
That's a minor also. That I'm in this one sort of, and I say
Oh,
sort
okay.
of.
Well, this looks like a leveraged ETF. Okay. Oh, this is a cipher.
Oh,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes,
I'm sorry. Yes, it's
yes.
CIFR. Yes,
Right,
yes.
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure on that one. I think they are making a switch as well. I
Oh, I
know
see.
most of them
Okay.
have. Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right, Andy.
go ahead, man. Enjoy your break, dude. I don't want
Oh,
to
I
keep you
will.
waiting.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
We'll talk to you in about an
we'll
hour.
we'll
Okay.
see you, buddy.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the support webinar. My name is Andy. If we have not met, and I'll be taking you through the next hour. If you have any questions, just drop them there in the YouTube chat. This could be questions, pertaining to the software, or if you want to talk about the market or a particular stock, or it's a pretty open forum. So, like Chris always says, man, yeah, keep the questions coming if you can, because that's how you learn, and that's how a lot of us learn is by asking questions. Uh, So anyway, as we wait, I will kind of rattle off stuff, and I'll explain to you the trades I've made recently, what I've been doing in my account. We'll definitely look at the indices, what we're looking at here, uh, and yeah, if you have some stocks you want me to look at, please hit me up. And I'm going to lower. I've been standing up for a while. Amber, I am not in rum. Let me take a look at it today. I missed it on the earnings. It got away from me at the open, and I wished I would have chased, but I don't like chasing, and it just never really has given me a decent pullback. Now I haven't looked in a couple of days, so let me take a look. No, it's still just ramping. You can see I have price alerts in here, hoping it would pull back, but yeah, that's just not my style to chase green bars. But I wish I had bought it on earnings the day after earnings. Uh, I will. You can see everything I'm in on my screen is what I'm in my account. This is definitely a tracking kind of account. So uh, I bought Keel this morning, KEEL. This is one where you've been having a lot insider buying the last week, and I think the CEO and then one other director have been on two different occasions have bought shares. Now this is going to trade with the data centers. When data centers finally Finally had a little move today. APLD is probably the one kind of leading the charge. I'm in this wolf I bought this morning. Actually got it at 78. This is always chasing my account. Tesla, I've been in for a while. I mean, if you guys been attending this webinar, you know I've been kind of in this in a while, scalping it out until it breaks to that 50. I'll continue to scalp some out, keep a core position. That's kind of my style. Oracle, I've been in for a while, and this one is holding this 20 period moving average. That's about the only thing that's keeping me in it. But I bought this close to uh, generational lows, hopefully. And that's where I started buying it. Now I do have a position now. I would like to get heavier, but I need to see it back above. It's encouraging. I like the way it's setting up today, actually on that intraday. But yep, Tesla in and out. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, when a stock is under its 50, there's nothing wrong with scalping it. I just like to keep a because what I'm afraid is going to happen is you're going to have some really good news come out. If I'm not in it, in this way, obviously that can work both ways. I could get whacked over the head, but uh, I've learned my lesson. If you want to be in something, just maintain a core position and kind of trade around it. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I want to be in something, but I'm afraid because it's in a downtrend, and the next thing you know is gapping up 10-15% on you. And then what happens? I can guarantee you, even though you probably should still buy it back because that's typically what happens. It's a breakaway gap and it keeps going. But man, when you've been in something lower and then you got to chase it another 50 points higher, it's just really hard to pull the trigger. Uh, yeah. There's a lot of good things now. Yeah, and the cyber cabs are going to really start. I think the growth could be a lot more than what they're expecting because I think they're getting pretty efficient at spitting those things out. So you got that working for you in the uh, robo taxi space, and then of course you got Optimus coming out in the first quarter. And remember how markets are generally about 6 months ahead of any really good news. So you know maybe keep an eye on Tesla because I think the Optimus sales are going to start first quarter 2027. Uh, Let me go over quickly. I hit ABTC when buried. I do think this one is going to make it to the $10 level, and possibly today. I think a lot depends on what Bitcoin does, but running into one little area here of resistance, but that's just one candle, so that's not real strong resistance. Anytime you have a psychological whole number like $5 or in this case $10, I think that's an area that it wants to get to, and I'm hoping rather quickly. And I wouldn't be disappointed if it happened today. Uh, Lunar, I bought today. Lunar, now I bought this one. I was watching it. I had alert go off. This is why I always set alerts when it was. I made some really good money picking a bottom way back over here. Got out. I can't remember when, but I got out on earnings day, but then I got back in. And anyway, but I'm out now. So, and I put an alert down here. It's 20. It went off today. You can see the trigger there. And I said, well, let me give it a shot with small size and see if it wants to find a bottom. May not. That's why you can't go big. NCPL net capital. Oh wow, yeah, nice move. Up 184%. Excuse me. Let's see if I can finish. Asan, I bought yesterday. I added to it at I think 52, and Yeah, this one, if it holds the fast line there, I'll be okay. We talked about IMIT Hut I bought today. I bought it over here, and then I got this move on me, just really whacked me there good. But anyway, I don't give up on it and got back in today just because the miners were strong. And Wolf is looking good, like it wants to push through this 10 period moving average. Keel mentioned that one. I think that one could, go and tag that 20-day today, hopefully. SpaceX was on the list today. I've been in this, and this is another one I've been in for a while, trading around a core position. Banged out some decent profits, but maintained, like I said, a core position. As a matter of fact, I sold a little bit today when it got up close to that 10 period moving average. And look there, if you look closely in SpaceX, what do you see finally developing? That little blue line up there is a 50-day moving average. So finally got a 50-day moving average. So that's something we can play off of as well in SpaceX. And XC, this one I've been trading really well lately, but I need to close that one out because I had to chase. I actually got a much better price than this. Well, I say much better. I'm in from 1830, so 8 cents better. This one had a huge bar to come in it, volume bar that came in, right here over 1 million shares. So this one definitely one I would like to add to. Anything that I didn't discuss, I think I've hit them all. Oh, Amazon. Amazon, yeah, it's been frustrating. This one, haven't really made a whole lot of money on it. I am positive in it, but I thought this move right here would start something. After an earnings, and you had two really great days of earnings, came down here to the 20 period moving average, and then you had that nice little break. That one is one you would like to continue, so to continue moving higher. So right now, I'm basically flat in the trade, and I'll keep a close eye on it. As a matter of fact, I'll put an alert right here, and if it does break down, just gotta sell it because it may want to fill the gap. You never know. NVDA, I probably just not touch that until it's not one I want to hold in the earnings. It's under pressure right now. It's kind of in no man's land between its 50 and its 20. So uh, it's one I'm kind of just leaving alone, and that goes for all the semis. I did play Intel yesterday for a scalp. I caught it near lows, but yeah, I don't see any reason to hold these things just because there's a lot of selling going on. All you got to do is look at those red bars. Of course, we're seeing a lot of this in the market too. And one reason I'm banging out some profits today. Not Let's just talk about the Qs real quick. And yeah, you can see a lot of red bodies in the Q. That tells you that the close was lower than the open, and experiencing the day. The day's not over with, and you can see what we have here. We have the 10 and the 20. We tried to press through, and the 5 days. So we tried to push through there. We couldn't get it. So that keeps me kind of in scalping mode. As a matter of fact, I'll probably be taking some Tesla off soon, just because uh, of for that reason. I'm hoping it gets it. It's had some nice little moves lately. I'm kind of hoping it still, and I'm still holding out hope that it gets that, and then maybe I can sell some up close to 360. But I tried BCRX. This thing, I don't think I've ever made money trying to trade this thing. Anytime, the bio's been hot lately and this thing looks like it's setting up, it looks like it's going to get a move. And, I think I bought it right here thinking, okay, this thing's going to finally go, to that 990 level. And it's just, it'll, it'll probably pop without me. That's what they do. Boy, look at Oklo having a nice day today. INOQ is kind of one to keep on your radar. I do like the way this is kind of holding at 20. We'll put alert in that bad boy in case it wants to go to highs. May not be today, but maybe tomorrow. Is always good when you're looking at stuff to go ahead and put an alert in it. I like to cheat a little bit so I get a head start. It goes off. I do like this keg. I mean, this CEG. I think this is setting up well. I just had an NVDA. I went through that 12. Not sure why I set that. I guess I just said it looking at it. But energy play, you're seeing a lot of money flow into energies. I've seen a lot of its peers in its sector trading very well, and this one is probably pretty spready. I haven't looked at it, but it's probably you're probably looking at a 50-cent spread, but definitely one I like for potential for to explode at some point. It's in a tight range right now compared to how it's traded historically. So I think when you get those tight ranges like that, you want to watch which direction they break. What did you set for an alert? Let's just take a look. I can't tell you the exact number. I just kind of find the level. Okay, basically close to just below today's highs. And the reason is anytime after earnings, you saw some nice strength and now it is pulled back and it's holding, this 20 period moving average. Okay. And you do have some, obviously you have finally have some interest kind of in the tech sector today. I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the tech sector that's doing well. It's my AI and robotics. Take a look at some ARC stocks. See, you got a lot of these biotechs that are performing, but that BCRX just continues to frustrate me. I'll be watching this KTOS here over the next maybe tomorrow. You got right at its 50 period moving average. This is after earnings. It had once again had a nice move. It's pulled back to the 50, and this is one I'll go ahead and set an alert for it going through today's high, and maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. You get a nice little move through highs. Yeah, my scans are a lot of them are just kind of watch lists for different sectors. Obviously, this is what I call the big boys. It's going to be your Amazons, your Nvidias, Teslas, Metas, Google, things, AMD, things like that. Sector watch list. This is where I like to keep an eye on the hot sectors. Today, you got uranium that's doing very well. See the nice move in URA there. What's the ETF? I looked at some of the stocks today. They're just really hard for me to trade. You almost just got to pick them, find a spot, where and just buy a little bit, because if you try to time these things, they just get me. CCJ is probably one of the top ones there, and you can see it's having a nice move. So definitely a nice move in the uranium stocks. ARKG, just genomics, the genes. You've been on a tear lately. That's why I showed you earlier. This is probably the ARC. This is Twist. This is one of the leaders in that sector, and having a nice move. And Steve shared with me a list that, and I need to go back and find that and download it, of stocks to kind of keep an eye on. I just never been big on bios, because I'm a swing trader now. If you hold them overnight, you don't know what kind of news you're going to get the next day. Let's see if I can find that beam was looking. See, that doesn't look that bad. But obviously, the sector's up, pretty big today. I really don't want to be chasing right now. As you can see, it's almost actually starting to bleed. Oracle is kind of trading like a data center stock now, because it has so much, I think like 100 billion or something like that, allocated to, infrastructure and things like that. And it's like, uh, so one to keep an eye on if the data centers stay hot. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the Trade Idea Support session there. Siva? Everything runs together, so I'm going to call you Siva if that's okay. Maybe it's Siva. So let me go ahead, in case this wants to go to highs, this Oracle. The Qs are definitely holding on today so far, so we'll see if that can continue. Oh, wow. Interesting. The problem with these things is so many of them moved over, a lot of, like I said, a lot of the miners, moved over to data centers, and I think you just got too many now. Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, great, Silver. Nice to have you in here. Yeah, if you have any questions, just fire away in that YouTube chat there that you're using, and I'll be happy to answer them. I was just kind of going over the markets right now and the sectors and stocks that I'm in and why I'm in them. And let me take a look at these other space stocks. ASTS not doing it well in either. Rocket Labs, they just kind of beat up. Surprised they're not trying to bounce a little more with SpaceX having a decent day. Well, it was. Okay, I bit I noticed is kind of bleeding off a little bit. Nothing major, but it did break its 10-period moving average. And what I like to see is how this ABTC holds on relative to IBIT, because I really believe this is a undervalued, just my personal opinion. I mean, their net asset value, if you just look at how many Bitcoin they're holding, which is over 8,000, is probably closer to $25. Now, I'm not saying this is what the value of the stock is. I'm just saying if they liquidated right now, that's what it would be worth, the company. Uh, because you could just sell the Bitcoin, and that's what you'd have. 25, if you know divide out the number of shares in the float, or multiply it times the price of Bitcoin, that would be your value, $25 a share. Now, obviously, there's cost in mining, and there's other costs for sure, but I still think, well, if you look back to when Bitcoin was trading at this same price back in, I believe it was May, and look where ABTC was trading in May, you're looking at just $18 alone there, just in the differential, difference of where Bitcoin was trading now. So I still think there's a lot of you know hidden value in this thing, but there's humans involved, and that's what trading's all about. So still got to play the chart. Yes, you're right. We're kind of hitting that time of day where it can get pretty choppy. Now, what I will say about that though is when you've kind of had a direction in the market, like we've seen in the Qs now for the last, let's call it 8 trading days, and then you're kind of starting to get stubborn where you may get into an area if the market tries to go back to highs where the shorts will get nervous, and you can have a rally obviously in midday. So that's something I'm definitely keeping an eye on, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who got short over the last on this nasty gap down after a nice looking beautiful chart for the bulls, and so we'll see what happens. Oh, good. Yeah, the TI Wave's a nice tool. It's a nice tool, Siva, to especially for people who need help. And honestly, that's 90% of the traders. It really is. It's I should probably even use it more, but I'm not that type of trader. I'm more of a swing trader. So those intraday, you know, trade waves, trade idea TI waves, I think we call them now. I mean, they're great for entries for sure. Oh, good job. Good job. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I like that ABTC is holding up well, even with Bitcoin, bleeding off from highs and actually below its 10-period moving average. This one is definitely holding up very well. Good question, Siv. It's hard to tell. I know it's nothing that's in the cards right now, but who knows if things could change. We've primarily been U.S. equities, and I'm sure there's probably some serious data fees when it comes to crypto. So we'll see. Thing with equities, you got over 8,000 instruments to choose from. So it's like with how powerful our software is, and going out and gathering all that data, it's I think it's just more beneficial for traders to use this that trade equities, because I know there's a lot of crypto out there now, and I think it's something we probably should have implemented 15 years ago, but there's still tons of people that trade stocks. Tesla's close to highs. Who do you use for your crypto trading there, Siva? Oh, CB. What is CB? Excuse me if I don't. I'm just not familiar that much with the. Oh, Coinbase. Right, right, right. Yes. Actually, I think I was thinking about it back in the day. I actually signed up with them. I never funded it. I've always been an equities guy, and I'm thinking, gosh, you know what? If I start doing crypto, I'll be doing that thing 24/7. Which actually, I've been trading at night anyway. A lot of times, uh, I actually sold some I bet last night. When tell you what I was looking at. This is exactly what I was looking at here on the weekly, and this is for those trading crypto. Might want to keep an eye on this. If you look at the weekly last night, we got right up to that 50-period moving average, and that's where I sold some actually. Uh, because you can trade IBET. You can trade IBET 24/7, except on the weekends. Obviously, for right now, they shut down on the weekends. I don't know what the Nasdaq's going to do. Believe in December they're opening up 24-hour trading. I don't know if that includes the weekends, but I hope not. But it probably will. Anyway, that's definitely an area to watch. In Bitcoin, if it does get above that weekly 50, because then you could really see a serious move. They have 24/5, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I use Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim, I'm sure their platform does too, but I use their web version, and they have 24/5 as well. All right, let's fire up some races. Those are always fun. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is Trader 77. I tell you what, I've been noticing too is a lot of times when like the market had a bearish day and maybe continues to bleed a little bit in after hours, you can find some opportunity because some of those stocks, people get scared. And obviously a thinner market, so you can actually, if you're looking at a stock at a certain level, you can pick some stuff up on the cheap sometimes. I know that because a lot of times I'll have a dozen positions and I'm watching them, and after hours, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening here? I think this market is, I just don't know how much we're going to see until we got NVDA. Not only we got NVIDIA, we got Marvell. Marvell is kind of a big one now, and it's got earnings on the 27th, so that would be 2 days post market. And NVIDIA, I believe, is tomorrow's. Correct? Yes. So I don't know, how much we'll see today, especially with the Qs kind of pinned under their moving averages there right now. So still kind of in scalp mode for me, and I have taken some profits today, but I'd like to take some of that Tesla off. I'd like to see it get a nice little run back up to that 50 period moving average would be nice. Yep, stalking is good. I like this stocks myself. All right, factory energy. There's some energy stocks going for you. CRCT with kind of a burst. Let's see, not seeing anything that really jumps out at me. Boyle, that's a UNG, nat gas, leveraged play there. Grab. Boy, I hadn't seen grab in a while. And then Fubo's the same. Fubo's actually trying to break out of a kind of a range. PMI. Yeah, I got PMI. Are you on Trade Ideas charts? This XC now is trying to poke through 20. Ah, you could not buy it on. That's interesting. Yeah, I come across that every now and then on Thinkorswim as well, where they won't let me buy a chart. They don't know that I know how to trade China stocks. But I'll stick a obscure China stock in there. They're like, nope. This QMCO has been holding up well lately as far as the quants go, but it just doesn't want to do anything. Well, that's a nasty looking gap up and then get just crapped over. This KRMN, it was on the list today. Of course, it never triggered. It needed to go through. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with these stocks. No harm, no foul. The number of triggers. That's why you don't want to guess too much at this game. Don't assume anything's going to bounce off the key moving average. It's kind of what I did with Lunar. I'm not big size on this at all, just because that would be a foolish assumption that it's going to automatically bounce off that 20 and go. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. A lot of times you can buy that on by calling it in. I trade my. It's actually Merrill Lynch's. I have my wife's IRA in at Merrill Lynch just because it's tied with Bank of America and they're easy to transfer funds and all that. But yeah, they have a lot of stocks. They want you way too many of them that they want you to call it in, or they want to send you a code, and then they always get my code wrong. They say my code's not valid, so I need to have a talk with them and just say I don't want to do that. I don't want any more codes. Just approve everything. Okay, Q's bleeding off a bit. Didn't have much going for it until if it gets above that 10, maybe it will bring down that moving average. Yeah, I think there's also I know with the Think or Swim, they will have you can call in. Steve has done that a couple of times. I just can't be bothered. I don't want to call in and talk to a broker and take 30 minutes just to get approval buying a stock. By that time, it's already gone, or I don't want it anymore. Yeah, it is way too much of a pain. Plug is coming through. Steve bought that earlier, I believe. Coming through the races. Oh, Riley, that's one that used to have a huge short interest. It's not as much anymore. Some volume coming on the 1 minute. Yeah, that used to have like a 68% short float. It's another thing I kind of like about ABTC. You only got 23 million in the float, and about 13 or 14% of it is short. So it's not a huge number, but when you only have 23 million, that can 23 million that don't want to sell, uh, that could put some pressure on the shorts. Jazz was a nice looking chart coming into today. That was on my trader's eye scans. It's a beautiful looking chart, but it's kind of spready. I don't even know why I use stops. All they do, wherever I put them, they hit it and bounce. Oh, what's on? You're just going to frustrate me some more, aren't you? Yeah, that'd be a tough one to trade. That's kind of like a lot of the semis right now. They're just kind of just very sloppy in no man's land and actually in a downtrend. Wolf trying to go to highs. All right, Tesla is kind of poking itself through here. Turn on my. Looks like it wants to go test this kind of 357 area. There you go. Yeah, doesn't take a lot when you're in dealing with those stocks that are, what is it? Yeah, $1,500. So yeah, it doesn't take a lot. What do you run your chart analysis on? Oh, Warren AI, huh? Okay, now the Qs need to hold on to the 10 period moving average. Oh yeah, I could. You know what? You have to. No, you don't have to do anything. I forgot. This is a global symbol list, so you don't have to do anything. Sure, I can trade it, share it. There you go. There's the swing trade watcher, and like I said, it's tied to a global symbol list, so you don't have to do anything. Okay, Tesla, how about doing one of those stupid moves? You're welcome, Pramod. F8G. Okay, so basically, I doubled my position size in Tesla this morning. So I'll be looking if the market's just kind of hanging out here. I'll definitely be looking to take a little bit off here, kind of running into some serious resistance here. And really, the market is not moving higher with Tesla. Doesn't mean it can't just keep going, but got some decent profits, and the market's not really doing anything, just kind of hanging out here in no man's land. So Yeah, it's been, I day traded for a very long time, so that's one of those kind of things that is definitely subjective. As far as trade the ones where you feel comfortable trading. Okay, because I can promise you, if you don't feel comfortable in anything you're doing when it comes to trading, it's a bad strategy. So that goes for stocks. That goes for styles, your methods. There's a lot of people come in and because they hear about all this momentum trading, and it's just they're not cut out for it. And I try to explain to people that you can do kind of what I do is almost like a mix between day trading and swing trading. Uh, and you can still make some decent money. Obviously, if you're a really, really good day trader, you can just really kill it. But uh, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Whatever make sure you feel comfortable doing it. Because if you're on edge and you can't relax, you're not going to be a good trader. My style, whether it was day trading or swing trading, I'm a setup kind of guy where I look for setups. Uh, and I don't mind buying pullbacks either, kind of like what I did in Lunar today, LUNR. If I find key levels like 20 period moving averages and things like that, I can. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Use that TI wave for day trading. That's because your risk is kind of defined, right? Because you're getting a good entry, and then it just comes managing your risk to the downside, which should be pretty tight because you're buying it, like I said, kind of you're not chasing highs. You're buying it on a kind of a turning pattern where the momentum could possibly be changing.
Did somebody say buying highs?
Like Barry, no.
Like me?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, Barry. But I said you have to. I don't know if you caught the first part. I said whatever you
No,
do,
no, no.
you
I,
have
I
you
just,
have to feel comfortable doing it. And
boy, I feel so comfortable doing it.
yeah, there you go.
But obviously, it's not just buying highs, 10,
No,
15-minute candles in a row,
yeah,
parabolic. No, of course not. It's something else. But yeah, I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, people just love to, I know you love to play more pullbacks and Indian moving averages. I know Steve does anyway.
yeah,
You sort
yeah.
of like Steve, like in that regard?
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of similar. We used to
Okay.
we used to have our little business together where we
Yeah.
look for setups. It's we're more setup kind of guys. And
Right.
but there was a day, Barry, for a long time. I
It was a
kind of
day.
did what I did what you did. But you have no problem chasing. But yeah, I would always get in trouble.
Mm.
You're real good about maintaining your risk.
Yeah, and the discipline. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not going crazy. I mean, a stock making a new high of the day, coming out of a bit of consolidation under the high of the day, to me is not chasing.
No,
It's not.
right?
So, but everybody's different, of course.
Of
Well,
course.
listen,
Yeah,
are you? Yeah, well, you must be a double duty today or
I
this week,
got
right?
double
So we'll
duty.
see you
Yeah,
Friday.
this week I
Can't
will.
wait.
I'll see
Can't
you guys
wait.
Friday.
Okay. Okay.
All
Thanks,
right,
Andy.
Barry. Y'all have a good day. All right, see you guys next. See you guys on Friday. Bye bye.
Okay, guys, I think I'm back in screen sharing in our YouTube room. And okay, and got rid of the message. Last thing to do, music. All right. So the gem Let's see. Well, it would take a bit, guys. It would really take a bit. It's got to, burst through the VWAP. I don't think it's going to do it. I just have this feeling it's not going to do it. Though the float is so crazy low that if you get any, like I said, we got a million shares coming in. I mean, it could do it. But anyway, I would rather have been sitting right around here, around 775, over the VWAP, just underneath the high of the day, and then maybe a pop through. You guys, just checking some of my thumbnail charts. I'm seeing Moderna still right to the penny of that high. Pretty amazing. Right to the penny of that high a couple of days ago. I have a price alert set there in case it takes it out later. If it does, I'm probably going to take this trade. Because it still has a lot of room. 176 is the next high. Now, I didn't even check. Can I buy this? Can we buy this, Monica? If you're still around, JEM at Interact at IB. Didn't even think to check. Could be one of those we can't buy. No, Barry, as in no, we cannot buy it. Ah, well, okay. Well, for those of you who can, okay, guys. Now GENB, that had a big, big, big pullback. But look, it's over the whole number of 20. The VWAP's around 2072. So there could be an argument to be made that you take it now and maybe has a bit of a magnet to the VWAP. It's been a very strong stock. Of course, it's still up 13%. Had that, what I consider one of the best runs I've seen on the 2-minute chart. You look at that 2-minute chart, virtually no pullback at all until right at the top. Not a good spread right now. Yeah, no, thanks, Siva. Yeah, we told could not buy it at Interactive Brokers, and you can't even beg them. I know Andy was talking about with Thinkorswim. I wanted to break in, but he may with Thinkorswim you can phone them up and say, listen, I'll sign a waiver, or either it's verbally or signing something saying, let me trade any stock I want. So you don't have to call in every time. And I think you have to do it, but you have to do it once a year. Well, once a year, probably at the beginning of the year, and then that covers you. But IB does not allow us. Hmm. A little bit of room for this Reax, guys. No, this is Remax, right? Remax. So it's at the 200-day moving average. The high right there is 27.92. What's the spread like? Nah, not great. Just a broker. It's just their rule, Ahmad. I mean, their rule, and many brokers do it, but most brokers allow you to. Well, I should say most because TradeStation doesn't allow it either. but some of the other brokers will allow you to phone them up or chat with them somehow and say, listen, give me a waiver so I can buy any stock I want. I promise I'll sign it. IB just doesn't allow it. No, I guess neither does TradeStation. So when you say TradingView, but TradingView is not a broker. I mean, they might they are. I know they connect to somebody, but they're not. TradingView is not a broker, though. Siva, you're connecting to a broker. Oh, you meant TradeStation, right? Okay. Yeah, TradeStation doesn't allow it either, which I was really surprised because they're pretty big. All right, guys. William, I know I asked a while ago, what are your plans for today, if any? I did not see, we go back and look, but three-ish again? Okay, great. Yeah, they're just trying to protect us from ourselves. I mean, that's really the. I mean, it's possible they had lawsuits by people saying, Why did you let me buy that crazy little penny stock that has only 500,000 shares in the float?" I don't know. Holly said you can buy things you can't buy on IB. Well, yeah, all brokers are different. Okay, well, not all, but I mean they have different rules and regulations. Okay, so sometimes you'll hear me say I can't short. I have no shorts available at IB, or I have shorts, and then somebody said, well, might say, well, I don't have shorts at my broker. So I mean that's definitely can be a difference amongst brokers. But of course, there are brokers that will allow you to buy anything. Yes, of course. Doesn't bother me that much, really. Probably keeps me out of trouble more than it hurts me. Another one under a dollar and just hitting over 50 cents now. That's a FLD. Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say 7 years ago. I would say 3 years ago. They never used to block you from buying anything. Might have even been 2 years ago. All of a sudden, it crept up on us with those of us with IB and other brokers. All of a sudden, you get the little message saying, "Sorry, we're not. Well, they didn't quite say this, but we're not allowing you to buy this stock." I'm not sure when it started, but you get the first one, you think, "Oh, okay, must be some weird stock," and then you get another one a week later. Then all of a sudden, you get two the week after. Then you realize it's a bit of a pattern. But I can't tell you exactly when that started, but it wasn't that long ago. So, guys, unfortunately, well, I couldn't buy the JEM anyways, but unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything that I'm looking at as some kind of a late dater. Yeah, Gen B. I was just saying, you're right, Siva. I was just talking about it. Holding that whole number, and maybe the VWAP acting as a bit of a magnet. The wave is turned. It's blue now. Well, this IMX, I have to watch this one tomorrow. Okay, IMMX, have to watch this one tomorrow. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is an all-time high. IMMX is an all-time high. Well, if you're in Canada like me, there's no 25K minimum, but I know I didn't know IB was still the same in the States with a 25K minimum. Really? I know they don't have the PDT rule anymore, but I didn't think they would still have a 25K minimum. Okay, guys, it's 114, so losing a little bit of interest here. I'm not saying anything that I really want to trade. I was hoping there'd be some crazy low floater that was just resting and they might have a little pump in the afternoon, but I'm not seeing anything like that. So I'm going to go over my homepage right now. All right, guys. So there's my homepage, and click on the link. And at the top, a couple of different promo codes we've got going on. So only do this if you're really sure. Well, especially on the annual. I mean, you can always try our premium monthly. You'll get 28% off. If you didn't like it, okay, you just unsubscribe. But please don't take on an annual subscription of our premium unless you know the product. But if you like it, obviously today would have been a great day with our AI. But you can get 28% off the an annual subscription of our premium service, or 28% off the first month only. Okay. The standard service, you can get 15% off the first month only, or the entire year. So these are the two codes. Okay. Well, I ask you, if you're going to take out a subscription sometime in the future, please use my code. Why? Well, I monitor these two trading rooms, the YouTube room and the main room right here. And the company tracks the use of the promo code. So if they see my code being used often enough, they don't mind keeping these rooms free. So some advantages of this room, the trading room, are it's free, same as the YouTube room, but it's also open at 7 in the morning. Okay, so if you want to come into a room and interact with other traders during the pre-market, you can come into this room. And I don't open it, William opens it. I get on the mic sometime between 9 and 9:15. And another bonus is that when I leave, I usually leave sometime between 2 and 2:30, or I'll always say later if there are questions, but if there are no questions, I will take off. But William usually now is keeping this room open until 3-ish, as he calls it. Okay. So call it 7 to 3-ish, this room. Whereas YouTube, basically 9 to whenever, 2 o'clock or so, whenever I have to leave. Keep it simple. Get the trade of the week. You can sign up for it right here. It is free. You'll get it before the market opens every Monday morning. And education. So if you're taking out a subscription to Trade Ideas, getting started with Trade Ideas, that's the mandatory series of videos you must watch, 12 of them, very short. If you don't have Trade Ideas though, and you're thinking about getting it, I would start up for that second video, go to the end, should give you an idea about what we're capable of doing. And it may or may not be what you want, but you can always try us for a month. If you don't like it, just unsubscribe. Back to basics. If you're new to trading, this is for you. 15 free videos if you're new to trading. And last, if you're looking for some of the information that I'm sharing, races, scans, etc., you've clicked on my homepage link, scroll down, view scans, here they are. So this is the race you see, this one right there. Upside versus downside movers is here. This is the halts resumes is down, where are you? Halts resumes is right there. This is what I use in the pre-market. The pre-market act is up and down. And then here is the trend reversal. Trend reversal, daily trend reversals right here. I have other scans that I'm currently sharing. I don't have them all up and running, but you can certainly take a look at them and ask me questions about them if you like. All right, guys, let's see, RNXT 151. It's at 156 now. Not a big move. Givo, which you own. Okay, let's take a look at Givo. I haven't seen this one for a long time. So 169. So to me, anyway, I hope it works out for you. 187, 186.87. A couple of monthly highs here. So I don't know if that's what you're shooting for. Yeah, we can get some really ugly ones late in the day from this scan, but sometimes we get an absolute gem. Okay, ugly meaning there's hardly any volume. Most of the time, look at the times. Most of the time, these alerts happen in the first hour. So we had a few after, but no, this is it. But most of the time, because you've got to think of it this way, if a stock is going to reverse, usually it's going to be, within the first hour. If it's going to reverse the daily trend of yesterday. All right, guys. No, I didn't trade it. I didn't see it from our AI. I was doing other things. I know it happened right at 10:01. The alert. I did not trade it. I wish I was extolling the virtue of it when I finally saw it. Especially on the 2 minute, saying what a stress free trade that would have been. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. What time is it now? 1:24. Was it in here, Gen B? Was it in here? Might have been the large cap one then, right? Because it's not in here. What was the large cap one? I'm at. Well, let's first of all let me see what GNB. It would have just made it in because the minimum float in the other one has to be at least 50 million. Okay, it was in the other one. Okay, and half a billion. So yeah, 50 times. Yeah, that's why. It would have just snuck in the other race. Oof, this was a nice one, guys. I did not. This is the Remax one, 2674, 2730 now. But the spread, the spread is a little bit, it's 20-cent spread right there, 19, but 20. Actually, I think this was the trade of the week last week. I don't think can't remember if it triggered or not. I don't think it triggered, but it's starting to move now, XE. But again, coming into what I call some, could be some pretty stern resistance right around the 20 mark. Okay, now look, Corsair had a little pullback into the cloud. This is CRSR, not an earnings play. And let's take a look at where it could go. I mean, it's got some room. 1230. I mean, it's got some room, guys. 1230. So had a pullback into the wave. See if it takes this high out because it could go on a bit of a run from there. See if there's any news on it. I don't see any news on it. But the volume, I mean, the relative volume is only 0.64, meaning it's not trading even normally right now. Okay. One would be normal up to this time of day. Now, is it skewed by some huge? No, not really. No, late volume today for it. You can just look at the volume bars. They're all pretty decent. But today, no. I know. There's still 2.5 hours left, but all right, guys. Half an hour left or more if there are questions. This is a UUUG is a two timer for UUUU. Well, that critical metals still, look at that, another new high right there for CRML. Had the alert at 712, 809 now. Maybe it's setting up for a bit of a late day run. Coming on the 10-minute, you can kind of see a breakout. It's curling up on the twos with a blue wave. This could be interesting. Where is the next high? So the next high on a daily chart somewhere, this sort of last month, is around eight. Right here, it's easy to find right there, 851. So there's a little bit of room still for the CRML that wants to head into a late day run, like a late day run. Trying to hold that whole number. Yeah, definitely good volume. 3.7 times normal up to this time of day for the CRML. So the stock, wow, the stock is up 10%. Okay, this is again the two-time version of the stock. Watch this one, guys. If it pulls back and holds 8 and maybe gets back up here, I may have to take this trade as a bit of a late trade. If there's any specific news for CRML, I'm sorry, for no, I'm sorry. This is the stock. Excuse me. I don't know why I was thinking this was the two-time version of it. The two-time version of it is here somewhere, but it's not. That's not it. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any news on it today. Just watching it, wanting to see if it holds 8. Well, the nukes had a pretty good day. I'm used to SMR, especially having a decent run and then a big drop, but not today. A little bit of a pullback here, but look at this run now, SMR. So the nukes definitely had a good day. OKLO, I'm sure, is going to look similar. Yeah, it didn't really have the same sort of drop as SMR. And how about NNE? hmm The other one is LTBR. Haven't seen this one for a long time. That was a cheaper version of them all. Yeah, not as very spotty looking, no volume. But OKLO, I don't know why. I think that's sort of the leader now. Volume is 6.9 million, up 11.5%. What's SMR up? SMR is up 8%. So yeah, OKLO is definitely, and the volume. Well, SMR's volume is 31 million. OKLO is not is a lot less, but it is up a little bit more, and the spread is fine. Boy, how they fell though! My goodness, I mean, when was this? This was almost a year ago when OKLO was almost $200, and it got all the way down to 35. Did I say 2 years ago? I mean, almost a year ago. If I said 2 years ago, almost a year ago, that's October of last year. So, guys, no questions. If I might leave a little earlier if there's just no questions, okay? Yeah, that's things I can do. But William will. So when I do leave, I will keep my layout up and running, and I'll put it on surf mode. In fact, I'll put it on surf mode right now. Let's see if there's anything. The lazy man's way of trading. Let's see if there's anything that's loading that could be interesting. So again, what surf mode does, if it'll take any top list windows that you have open, including races, because they're generated from top lists, okay? And as you have them sorted, in other words, if I've got a top list and I've sorted on the change from the close and it's the top three, so that's what I mean as I have them sorted. So every top list that you got, as you have them sorted, it'll load the top three as you have them sorted. It'll load one, two, three, and then it'll move on to the next top list window, the next one. It'll also here, in fact, this is what I'm talking about. It's going right now through the AI. The next one will be the WVVIP, and the next one will be the GENB. That's how I have them sorted. Okay, it'll take the top three here, and then it'll move on to another top list window. This is not a top list window, but it does do the same thing for the AI. And you can tell where it's at. When pre-market actor is up, okay, that's what it's looking at now. My top list. So what it does is it takes all of them. every one of them you've got, cycles through them all, or goes through them all, and then returns to the first one, does it again and again and again and again. And of course, those top three can change. If you saw a chart that you really liked, like looking at these DXC, you go, whoa, wait a minute, I want to see this one. Okay, so you just go to the chart, it'll stop the surfing. Now you can analyze it a little bit more. And if it makes sense for you to trade it, then go ahead, trade it. Otherwise, you back off and the surfing resumes. And you can also stop it. Of course, it's just a toggle. Currently, idea surfing paused. Okay. Or if you click on any symbol, that will stop it also. But it's just an interesting way of letting the system load stocks for you into your charts. I wonder if this can rebound the VST. Well, let's take a look at it. So Michael Anthony in our YouTube room. Well, the next high looking left is right here. So got into it today, 130, 140.32, and it got up to 140.26. So that sort of stalled it for a while anyway. Pretty ugly looking weekly chart though, up and down, up and down, up and down. Had earnings August 7th, so there's no, unless there's some other catalyst, but there's no upcoming unless again it has some kind of a catalyst. But the earnings catalyst is behind it. Look at Kura, sure, Kura. Well, certainly on a monthly chart, looking left, there's nothing blocking it near term. And there was some news. In fact, I don't know if that just hit or was that earlier or just a no. It must be it's a rehash. After the CEO buys more stock, okay, bought 100,000 shares at 12.39. So yeah, so that'll always help. Okay, yeah, same news. They just rehashed it. Oh, was it really? Oh, okay. Didn't notice. Oh, what, at 1:30, that's really late. Normally we don't get too many after about, 11 o'clock, but that's fairly late. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's been extremely choppy all day, but, maybe settle down and have a run. But again, to me, it's been just very choppy. The best thing we can say right now is holding the VWAP. All right, guys. What time is it now? 1:42. Well, that's why I wait, guys. CRML, it just didn't want to do it. It didn't want to hold that 8 level in a big way, and now it's starting to fade a bit. Check the SPY volume today. Yeah, so yesterday we had 32 million. We're at 15, half of that, and we only have a little over 2 hours left. So yeah, into summer, I guess people are just trying to grab that last little bit of vacation time if they have it. Yeah, Gen B didn't really move that much, guys. I mean, it had a nice, not a bad little run, but this looks more shortable now. Underneath 20, maybe it's going to turn. There's a beautiful short up here, though, after being long. Hmm. Interesting. The Bank of Nova Scotia releasing earnings now. Most of the big banks have already released earnings. They decided they're very late. BNS. You know what? That's a lifetime high. BNS, a lifetime high for Bank of BNS. Interesting. Scotiabank upgraded to buy from a hold at TD Securities, Toronto Dominion Securities. So I'm sure TD expects the same from Scotia next time they release earnings. Yeah, the Canadian banks are actually, this is at 92%. Just looking at what's the Royal Bank? Is that RY? Yeah, the Canadian banks are, but Bank of Nova Scotia, it's an all-time high. But this is, Royal Bank and TD and CIBC. Is that going to be the symbol? No. CM. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Bank of Nova Scotia is an all-time high. The other ones are around 90, 92, 93%. I mean, still really good. But yeah, the Bank of Nova Scotia, BNS, all-time high. Oh, BMO, of course. I was thinking, have I missed one? BMO, yeah, 91%. So they're the laggards. They're the laggards. All right, guys. Well, listen, there's not very many questions coming in, so I may just head out now. Unless I get some questions, I just want to hang around. ASPN, let's take a look at this one. No, not no volume. Yeah, Bitcoin is still yeah, it's up about $400 and 79,000, a little over 79,000 right now. If this is a little earlier in the day, I mean, this short looks kind of interesting, and especially if that blue turns orange. It's coming right into a high. Call it $20, a little over $20. So it's a little underneath that, and that's the XE. So if I had shares available to trade, this would be a really interesting one. Okay, PMI. See how it's holding way over the VWAP. The high today was 1089, but if it broke 10, I would probably be taking this as a late day trade. I'm not suggesting anybody do the same. It's a low float, but I mean, it's just for it anyway on a 2 minute chart. For it is basing. Spread is a penny. Can't well now it just widened, but I can't trade it. Which software is this? This is Trade Idea software. Question from our YouTube room. You're in Trade Ideas trading room. So this is the software I'm displaying. Basically, it allows you to create scans based on your parameters. So I like to show this one. This is called the daily trend reversal. There's minimum in powder blue. I'll show you what just an example. This is down big yesterday, but up today. So this is an example of a scan I put together. So if the price is between, you start off with filters. So if the price is between $1 and $60, current volume is at least three, meaning it's trading at least three times normal up to this time of day. 150,000 shares have traded minimum. Has to be at least up 1% from yesterday's close. And these are the two key ones. It had to close down yesterday at least 5%. So it was down at least 5% yesterday on the close. And then today it has to be at least at the high of yesterday. Okay. So if all these filter values are met and I get a new high for the day, I get a real-time alert. So when you look at a stock like ABCL, it's pretty evident what it's looking at. There's a stock. This is yesterday's daily bar. It was down at least closed down at least 5% yesterday, but today it's reversing. That's why I call this a daily trend reversal. So it's reversing today. It met all the filter requirements that I had to be above yesterday's high, which is right there. It had to be at least up 1%, which was no problem from yesterday. And it fit the price range that I was looking at and the minimum volume that I was looking at. So that's what the software can do. You can put together your own ideas, or you can have the ones that I'm sharing. I share a lot of my scans, but that's what the software does. It's called Trade Ideas because it generates the ideas. Doesn't mean that every idea you want to trade it. You have to have some trading experience. So when you click on a symbol that's coming from your scan, you want to be able to look at a chart and say, yeah, I like it, or no, I don't like it. You have no trading experience at all. Trade Ideas will not help you. I mean, there's a bunch of soft. If you're interested at all, though, I will show you. If you go to my homepage, just to give you an idea. Oops, what am I doing? Man, if only. Look at this now. Just took out the 10. So what I would do is this. You're wondering about the software. Is you can click on my homepage link, scroll down a little bit. You get the education section right here. Click on that more info, and then right here, getting started with trade ideas. You don't have to be a subscriber. I would start off with the second video. Okay, there are 12 short videos. Let me give you an idea about what the software can do. Okay. Well, the uranium plays have been strong virtually all day. A couple little pullbacks for this one, but they've been strong all day. And that one is coming right into the next high on a daily chart. That red line right here, coming right into it. Well, I don't know if I take this trade now anyway, even if a little earlier, but I mean, it's now breaking out a little bit, CRSR, but I'm going to be taking off. So unless there are questions, I'm going to take an attempt. Heman, Heman Shusing, Heman Shusing, is that reasonable pronouncing your name in our YouTube room? Heman Shusing. Yeah, there you go, guys. Look at the break now for GNB underneath 20. Wondering about this as a potential short. See how the TI wave turned orange and it's under 20. Okay, guys, another couple of minutes, maybe one more minute. Didn't they do, were they the ones that revised their reverse split? Or maybe it was another company from like from 1 to 40 to 1 to 4 something. All right. Well, I'll keep an eye on Trug tomorrow. TRUG. It's a cheap one, I guess. True Golf. That's right. True Golf. Real cheap one. Real cheap one. Yeah. What you're talking about is the competitors, right, Rocky? You're talking about being able to type in competitors, or not type in, but just click on competitors. Hmm. That's what I thought you meant, because this, in theory, is supposed to show you similar like companies in the competitors within the. Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean now. I don't think we have that anymore. Not similar charts, no. There used to be something a long time ago, but I don't think it's available anymore. I think it might have been. It's not available anymore. I don't. Yeah, I sort of remember this years and years and years ago, Rocky. Trying to remember where that even was. Yeah, it just can't be available anymore. Well, the single stock window, though, this has been it. I mean, this is where the competitors are, but that it's not exactly what he's talking about. I think he's talking about similar charts. These are just, in theory, the competitors to a stock, though it doesn't work very well either. I mean, I don't even, I shouldn't trash the company, but I mean, sometimes, you click on, so I'll click on MRAM. I mean, it may be okay. At least it's giving stocks some, well, but is CSIQ, I mean, that's a solar stock. I mean, should it be in with MRAM, semiconductor and related? The bios didn't seem to be too bad, and some of the energy plays didn't seem to be too bad, but it was sort of disappointing when you type in something, when you click on this and you expect to see something in the same sector, and then you're looking at a bio and you're getting a home builder or something. Okay, I'll exaggerate somewhat. Which is the one? Was this the one today that? Which is the one? I don't know if it was this AMIX that we're going to do. I'm going to make up some numbers. They were going to do like a 1 for 40 reverse split, and now then they did a 1 for like 400. Some crazy number. It might not have been AMIX. Right click and price action. Okay, in a chart. The price. Okay, here it is. You're right. I haven't looked at this for years. So instead, yeah, that I guess. Let's see what happens. Okay. So I got it checked on competitors, but if you, there you go, similar pattern to AMIX. and there aren't any. Okay, let's take a look at REAX. Okay, so they're trying to. I don't think anybody's asked me that in years. So there it is. Yeah, where to go? Right on. Pepe. So let's see though. REAX. Let's see how close it is. Like what sort of price action are we looking at here? Say for CRISPR. Well, only you can be the judge of it. Of course, is it? Well, if you the single stock window, okay, so it is basically set. The default is on competitors, but if you right click on the tab and there's something you can click on price action. See what I'm doing? But before you guys get all crazy, I mean, I think I tried to use this a long time ago. I mean, you know, maybe it's better now. I don't know. But you have to have the single stock window up. You know, I'm trying to see. Yeah, I didn't really see any benefit. But hey, maybe they've made it better. I don't know. Can't hurt to try, I suppose. Try it and let us know. Uh, let me type in a like Microsoft or something just out of curiosity, just to get some more name stock in here. So here's Microsoft. Similar pattern to Microsoft. Okay. So what are we seeing here? Like, is it a similar intraday pattern? Is it a similar weekly pattern, daily pattern? I want to assume it's going to be maybe the intraday. So let's take a look at shop. Sort of fix Microsoft right now in your head, and let's take a look at shop. Or what I could do is just we'll take off the symbol linking and then make this a 10-minute chart also. I found a real lag doing this, trying to get the chart to activate. Okay, now let's look at WNC. Okay, so here's Microsoft, and they're saying this is a similar pattern. I don't know, is it? I mean, you probably have to scroll through them all and just see. I mean, nothing is going to be 100%, but that's pretty ugly. Anyway, it's there. You can try it. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't. It does not say. That's what I was wondering about. Is it intraday? Is it daily, weekly, monthly? I guess I could have looked at it a little more closely, but yeah, rarely do we get an alert from their AI this late in the day. But we did get one PRE. Yes, you could do that, Pepe. So anybody, yeah, just you could use the select chart style and the comparisons, and so you could put up to 5 symbols So if you went to the competitor, or if you went to the price action and you found, put 5 of them in here and see if they look, and then you'll get the lines drawn. You'll see how close they are, I suppose. And by doing that by doing that on the 10, 2, weekly, daily, monthly, maybe you'll see a pattern on one of them. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to shut down YouTube. I see no action in YouTube whatsoever. I answered that gentleman a little while ago, but I didn't get a response. So, YouTubers, I have to shut you guys down. So hopefully we won't have the same technical issues we had today. I'll be on the mic on YouTube sometime between 9 and 9:15. So we'll see you tomorrow.